Good evening and welcome to Paranormal Path Peeps. And tonight we've got Lewis Haddow and our special guest Richard Felix. How are you doing, everyone?
Yep, doing absolutely fine. How are you?
Oh, good, thanks. Yeah, it's been a great week. What about you, Richard?
Tickety-boo. Absolutely no problem at all. Busy week. Been down in London for Wednesday, Thursday. No, I haven't. Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Very hectic.
Oh, bless you.
But yeah, the sun shone down there beautifully. It was very warm. So I'm fine. Absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Busy as usual, but yeah. Great.
Yeah, you're always busy, aren't you?
I always got something on the go, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Oh, bless you. Yeah, because I didn't know if I'd catch you because you're out when I phoned you. So, yeah. Kind of
Sorry,
looking
what?
I was out when I phoned you. I was looking.
I'm always
catch
out.
you,
I'm always doing something.
Bless you.
One
You know,
day, I intend to retire.
Yeah, you won't like
Really.
that at all, will you?
I'm 8 years past bloody retirement now, so I don't know.
You love it.
I do. It's a good job I do.
So, for the people who have never met you, never seen you on,
never heard of me, more to the point,
or nobody from Derby, who is Richard Felix?
Oh God, I'm not sure actually. I sometimes wonder.
God bless you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm the bloke the voice of reality in the ghost business, the paranormal world. I'm the bloke that I mean, come on, everybody out there reckons they're trying to prove it, or what it is or what it isn't. But I'm the voice of reality. I'm the bloke that there's definitely something in it. But, let's just get away from all this rubbish, this scare factor nonsense that people love to watch. Of course we do. Everybody, we all love to be scared. That's why we go to Alton Towers and
I don't get scared at Alton Towers.
We love it, don't we? We love to be scared, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that's not. Oh, Shirl Knobloch, how are you doing, Shirl?
Yeah, all the way from Gettysburg.
All the way from Gettysburg. Can't wait to come back, my love. Can't wait to come. But the reality behind this business is I think is far more fascinating than this rubbish that everybody's coming up with about scary ghosts and demons and oh come on and whatever. So that's me. I'm the bloke that's trying to but I'm the bloke that tries to put the history behind the ghosts.
That's right.
Because that's where I think the fascination comes in. Because I think that if you can, we can't prove any of the ghost stories, but we can certainly prove the history behind that story, and that's where I think the fascination comes in more than anything. If you can prove the ghost story, but not the history behind it, but not we'll never. I don't think we'll ever prove the ghost story. I don't think there'll ever be proof that ghosts exist unless it happens like sort of like in Mexico with the Day of the Dead, where they reckon that they're all around. When everybody comes back, grandma, great grandma, great all sides, they all come back on a certain day of the year, and we all accept it. Well, that's never going to happen, is it? I don't think so. I don't know whether we'll ever prove. I don't think we'll ever prove. And I don't want it to happen too quick either, otherwise I'll be out of a job, won't I?
Oh yeah.
Hello, Andy. Right. No, hey.
So
that's
my
take on it. And I'm trying to but I am trying to put a rational explanation to the ghost business. And the first thing we need to do is to get rid of that word ghost.
Yeah.
And call it energy.
Yeah, because you actually wrote a book as well, didn't you? What is a ghost?
What is a ghost? On sale at Richard Felix.
Good bookshops, $9.99.
Signed copies available.
Yeah,
what and basically when I won't get
important.
Say again.
History is important, especially when you're researching.
It is. It's so much so. Because if you can tie in a reason, because at the end of the day, for me, it's always about not there's a ghost in there. Yeah, it's a grey lady, or it's a blue lady, it's a green lady, but yeah, okay. Oh, there's a ghost in there, but what? Who is that ghost? Why is that ghost still there? Because it shouldn't be. What happened that caused that ghost still to be there? 1, 2, and the big one. What can we do for it? What do you mean? It was a ghost, did it? Yeah, but it was you and me once.
That's right.
It was a human being that for some. It's like going to the zoo. You know, come on, guys. We're going around all these haunted locations. Will you do this? Will you do that? Will you make a noise? Will you bang? Will you whistle? Will you tap on something? Will you appear in front of every night, every Saturday night, some place is being absolutely inundated with people driving the ghosts up the wall, asking them to do this, that, and the other.
I totally agree with you, Richard, and it's the same questions.
Of course
What's
it is.
your name? What year is it? Hiya, Gary, how you doing? It's the same questions over and over again. If somebody personally was coming in asking me the same questions, I would be fed up with it and all.
They must be bored off their trolleys with all, honestly, Derby Jail, the same as everybody else, really. I hate to say it, but, all the time. And I just wonder what if it surely probably drives them away more than anything else.
I kind of find if you go in a location, you just kind of think that they're out there watching you.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Oh, who have we got in tonight?
Yeah.
And they're just waiting to see.
What bunch of sorry,
Yeah.
have we got in tonight asking stupid bloody questions that they've heard on Most Haunted over and over and over again? Will you whistle? Will you throw that? Will you throw it back to? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, but that's my take on it. And of course, here's one for you guys. What do ghosts do when they're not answering our questions, moving our planchettes, making our cat balls flash, making our K2s go off? What do they do? What do they do the rest of eternity?
They probably go on holiday because they've had enough of
do they play golf? Do they cycle? Do they go to the club? Do they go down the pub? Do they say, what do ghosts do for eternity? I'd love to know.
Yeah, I just kind of wonder if they're like doing the same thing what they used to do in life.
Well,
are they still doing something? And if you pass and you end up doing your day job still after you've passed,
I wonder.
That'd be a bit
or do you pass to another dimension, another frequency, where you are doing something just the same? What, for a period of 80 years, like here? Or eternity, doing the same thing? What about heaven?
Complex.
What goes on up there all the time? Do they all play harps all the time, sitting on wet, damp clouds?
Yeah. Well, we're all trying to get our own theories of what's happening, aren't we? And you kind of try and think of something, and then something else comes in and think, yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, of course, I suppose there's always being a demon. That must be quite exciting.
Yeah,
I would love to be a demon.
At least there's a bit of fun there and a bit of variety. Dragging people out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. Scratching them on the back, pushing them over. Oh, sorry, guys.
Or scratching them.
I don't think this will go down very well if certain groups are listening to this, but I'm probably doing myself no good at all here.
Listen, Richard,
that's me. Reality. They were you and me. They were you and me. All these ghosts. Let's keep calling them ghosts, shall we? All these. They were human beings once.
That's right.
And some of them, they and I believe they should command the same respect as a ghost as they should as a human being.
Yeah.
Because some of them still think they are human beings.
Yeah.
Don't
and
they?
Like a human, they're all different, aren't they, as well? Some are grumpy, some are happy.
Some are grumpy. You're bound to have grumpy people. Some are evil.
That's right.
Although I don't do demons, as you know, but I do think that there is evil. As I've said this frequently, Hitler ain't wandering around picking daffodils.
No.
Not that there are daffodils at this time of year, but there might be in heaven, of course. But then again, he won't be in heaven, will he?
No.
He'll be elsewhere.
If that is a belief system, question mark.
a big question mark, that one. But so he's around somewhere doing something.
You often gave that as a reason for the hauntings, didn't you, at Derby Jail?
That's the whole point. Yeah, that's me. I sort of, you see, wherever I go, whatever I do, I'm not psychic. I'm not medium. I'm not a sensitive. I'm none of that. I don't see dead people. Well, I've seen one. I've seen a dead person. I've seen lots. I've seen a few dead people in my time. But I mean, the ghost stuff. You know what I mean? I've seen one. I've heard one. I've travelled with one. That's about it. To be honest, I've had some very interesting experiences that I genuinely can't explain. But on the whole, I'm not in the slight. You take me into a room or a place and say, "Can you sense?" No, I can't. Which surely you could. The temperature? No, I can't sense. No, I don't sense that. I really don't. I'm a psychic brick. You've heard me say that before with a B. I'm a psychic brick. But I do believe over the years of doing this and researching, because when I go and do a program, wherever I go, if I get invited to do an event somewhere in some, with some paranormal group or whatever, I obviously research the place.
Yeah.
And the same on Most Haunted or Great British Ghosts or whatever I did, I tend to research beforehand. So I think I might have an idea who we might be talking to if anything comes through.
That's right.
With a Ouija board or anything else. And so I feel that although I am not a sensitive or anything else, I believe I am sensitive to the subject.
Yeah.
Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden you get, you're asking questions, and then you find out, did you have an accident? No. Did you die of an illness? No. Did you kill yourself? Oh. Mm. And then all of a sudden I think, hang on a minute. Well, in 1580, whatever it was, Agnes, whatever it was, from Bollinghall or something, did actually starve herself to death after her brother was killed fighting the Irish for Queen. Do you know what I mean? Oh, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, I've got a link here, and I then say, and I ask more questions, and it still moves and says yes, and I, oh my God, I think I know who I'm talking to.
Oh wow! It's
because I've researched the place, I suppose, and who lived in it, and that's what I'm. Because again, there's a reason why Agnes, for instance, was still there, and I think the reason she's still there is because she killed herself. She committed the worst crime there was against God, self-murder, punishable by burning in hell for eternity. So, in other words, because of that, we know full well that she hasn't gone to heaven. She certainly didn't want to burn in hell. So guess what? She stayed behind at the hall. She's still there. And then you're on the wrong one, and then she answers questions, or she doesn't answer questions, and I've got it wrong. But I do find often, same with Derby Jail. I know my inmates. I know who they are and what happened to them. And I know that there's a possibility that it could be that person because of what happened to them, or because of their religious persuasions at the time, or they were a Catholic and they believed more in heaven and hell and stuff than and self-murder and that's me. I try and go into depth on the whole thing. I think that's the answer, and I do that with everything I do, because my real interest is military history and battles.
Wow.
And
Gettysburg
is Gettysburg, and again, I tend to go deep into the subject, not necessarily the ghost, but whatever it happens to be. I collected militaria for years, and someone had come along and I don't know, tried to sell me something that had been in the, this was picked up on the battlefield of so and so. This is valuable because of it. But I would then go deep into it and say, well, I'm sorry, but that's not right, because that's got the wrong mechanism. That gun wasn't around at that time.
Wow.
Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
It's a similar sort of thing. And I've done that a few times on things where some people have tried to pass off something that was from a battle or something like that, and I think, well, no, that's not right. No, that uniform didn't have 7 buttons. That regiment only had 5 buttons on the front. Oh, yeah, know your subject.
Yeah.
I think that's the answer. Know your subject before
Is
you
there
go.
anything, Richard, that's baffled you that you just couldn't explain?
Oh, a haunting or something?
Yes.
Oh God, yeah, I'm sure. I'm trying to think hard now of a particular incident. Yeah, I mean, so I tell you what. You see, some of the time you'll, as you all know, everybody out there knows as well. You get so much, especially with Ouija boards, more than anything else. But you tend to get mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
And I often find that the reason you're getting a bit of mumbo jumbo is because they're there and they want to talk to you, but they can't read and write.
Yeah.
And so, hang on a minute, love. How are you gonna? Yeah, you present them with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Hello, goodbye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I can't read. I'm from the 1500s, and I can't read that. I don't. And well, I'm a bit embarrassed now because you've presented me with all the, and so
That's right.
that's a big one. Or even more so, the alphabet's different because it was different at the time. And so you're trying to cajole them into talking to you, and they can't do it. So you often get what you think is mumbo jumbo, or you think, oh, they've just come in and they're messing us about, they're playing with us, but perhaps they're not playing with you. Perhaps they just don't know how else. So I often say, right, that's it. Never mind all that. Never mind this. Just move the planchette for yes. Keep it still for no.
Yeah.
Because anybody can do that.
You're better off. I mean, I think people forget also it's like what the era they've came from. So as you say, Richard, the person might have never ever went to school for whatever reason.
Yeah, exactly. And are illiterate or whatever, or can't understand the letters on the board because they're from a different era. There was no W. There was no U. F's and S's were in a different context to what they are now. There was a 27th letter in the alphabet, which was an ampersand, which is and.
Oh, okay.
The actual sign for and was number 27 of the alphabet.
Wow.
So all this sort of stuff that they so you try talking to somebody from that period and they sorry love, don't understand you.
Okay, I've got some questions then we'll start off with Dan Wellham then. He says he's put a few on, so
hi Dan.
Kept on his comment. If a haunted building burnt down, would that then destroy the stone tape theory for that building?
Oh, I would say definitely not, because I know correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, but I don't think stone can burn. Yeah. So basically, But hang on a minute. Whoa. Now, hang on. Yeah. Take the stone away from the building. So, in other words, a building, a castle, burns down. Right. Number one, does it burn down? Right. Well, it can't. It can fall down because the timber inside burns away and the ceiling comes in, the roof comes down. But usually you'll find the walls tend to stay up. I mean, prime example, there's a place near me called Mackworth Church. It's a medieval church.
That's
medieval
awful.
church. And some twat set fire to it about 4 years ago.
That's shocking.
And it burnt down. But it didn't burn down because all its walls are still there.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, and this is something worth looking at, me and my stone tape theory, I don't think heat affects silica, quartz, crystal that's in the stone. I don't think, but I'm not sure about that one. I have to set fire to a bit and find out.
Oh, you'll have to test now.
So what I'm saying is, the building burns down, or burns and falls down. Remove the stone, obviously, or rebuild it with the stone, or because the stone's still there, then obviously your stone tape theory, in my opinion, is still there. And of course, don't forget, probably the foundations are still there anyway, even if you remove the stone walls. I would think the foundations are still there.
Yeah.
I think so. But this takes me on to a very interesting story of a guy called Professor Archie Roy, who is my hero, who I never met, unfortunately.
Oh.
And in one of his books, there's this story of a reasonably modern bungalow in Scotland somewhere. And this family had it built. So it's a new build on a site that had never had any, as far as we know, never been anything on it before, green belt or whatever it was happened to be. And they started seeing the ghost of a monk in the front room, or always quite near to the fireplace, which they found rather strange because it's a modern property. Anyway, I think it was Archie Roy that went along to investigate the haunting, and they actually found out that the fireplace was reclaimed stone from a monastery that was about 4 miles away from their bungalow.
Wow.
So, in other words, it's a bit like bringing your cassette with you.
Yeah, that's right.
And then putting it into a cassette player in a different location.
Wow.
Which I think is, yeah. So,
Yeah.
you know, so you may well move the stone tape. Sorry, you may well move the recording from where the building burnt down to where the stone is then used, reclaimed stone used somewhere else. And so you actually get what you call a haunting, which is, I believe, nothing more than a recording, to be played in a different location.
Interesting.
Hence, they couldn't understand why they were seeing a monk in their modern bungalow, basically.
True.
But it was the fireplace.
Cool.
Yeah,
when you're basically moving the rock from like one place, now you've got to imagine how much history's on that rock, and you're moving it and you're putting it in another building. You're actually transforming it could be two eras together.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally convinced, although there are a lot of doubters out there, that I'm onto something with this. I call it stone tape theory. It should really be possibly water tape or silica tape, because it's silica that's in the stone that causes the recording. Well, no, it's not. You see, it's also the iron oxide in the stone.
Yeah.
The rust that's in the stone, or in the bricks. So yeah, I still think stone tape. I get ridiculed for this. People say stone tape. That was a program in the 70s. It was, and they weren't far from the truth. And so I still believe the stone tape theory is the right thing. But then again, silica. You see the silica in water, and of course there's so many. Hello, Mr. Hodgson. I'd love you to rebuild my beheading scaffold at Derby Jail, mate.
Oh wow!
Yes, please.
There you go, then.
Yeah, the platform where the execution block was has collapsed and everything, and Carl's offered to rebuild it for me, which is very good of him. I have so many fantastic people, volunteers that want to help Derby Jail. It's incredible.
It's a great location, though.
It is a great location. It may be small, but come on,
it's packed of history, and
size isn't everything. Not in a jail, anyway.
Oh, way. So Anthony Hayes, from the age of 8, made up his mind after seeing something that scientists couldn't explain that shaped my entire life and belief in this world.
Wow.
But that's it, isn't it? Did your ideas change once you actually saw that figure in Derby Jail?
Oh, yeah. Oh, crumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scared you.
Two reasons. One, it wasn't as frightening as I expected it to be. Because remember, I'm frightened of ghosts and was from the age of 4. And so when it's the same old thing, we know when something really happens, it's never as bad as you think it's going to be. You know, that first injection that you ever had, it's not, it's not as bad as you think it was going to be. That first visit to the dentist, it's not as bad as you. Well, I don't think as bad as you expected it to be. Yeah, and so the same thing was, all those years of, oh my God, I don't know what I'd do if I saw a ghost. When it glided past me down the corridor, I wasn't as I was bothered, but I wasn't as frightened as I thought I'd be. And the second thing, of course, is guess what? It didn't get me.
No, you're still here to tell the tale.
Yeah, it didn't do anything. It just went by. It wasn't interested in me. So it didn't come and get me, because they don't. They really don't, because they don't want to.
That's it. It takes energy as well, doesn't it?
I have a lot of energy to get somebody, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's what they say. Like, we need energy, so yeah.
They need anything for everything. That's why they don't stay around too long.
Yeah.
Because they've used up the energy in the room, the energy from the room, the heat from a room to do whatever they want to do.
Heat from Derby Jail, mate.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Sometimes that's why you only get a head and shoulders.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough energy in the room for a full manifestation.
Yeah, but I'd love to see something like that. But I've got an EVP from Derby Jail, and I've got a photo of something from Derby Jail. I can't explain, which is I'll show you it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But to actually genuinely full on 5 seconds of it going by, it's altered the whole of my outlook on the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Because I know it's real, because I've tried to disprove it. I've ticked, that. I've ticked every normal box there is to try and disprove what I've seen, because that's me.
That's right.
Back to I've got this weapon from the Battle of blah 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 blah. All I do is spend all my time thinking of, is it real though? Is it? Oh no, hang on. That's got the wrong bit. That on that. Yeah. Try and disprove it first before you believe it.
Yeah. I take it, is that what you do, Richard? Like, do you, does people bring you, history things to look at, and you evaluate if they're real?
Oh, yes. And I get, I get so, look at that. Yeah, what? Hang on a minute. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, can't you see there's a face? Can't you see there's an eye there, and there's an eye, right, well, stand back a bit. Hang on, close one eye. Turn it a bit. You can see the, and I say, yeah, lots of that. But then I also see things that I think, bloody hell, that's a good one. That is, I'm very skeptical about photographs of ghosts.
That's it. You've got to be able to believe the people who've taken it.
Oh, yeah.
That they've tried to totally debunk it as well.
Yeah.
Also believe that they haven't edited it. And if you can look at the DAT file as well, that helps even better.
Yeah. That's so true. But there's, you sort of you see a picture and you think to yourself, you see, my take on it is, as I've said, you see it up here, and you don't see me do this. Hang on, where's my arm? Is it there? Is the ghost there? Or is the ghost there? And when I say that, I don't mean it's all in your mind, but I do mean it's all in your perception. Yeah. So in other words, you see it, 4 other people don't see it. How can you take a photograph of that when it was in your perception?
Yeah.
Because you were on the right frequency at the time. So how can you take a photograph of something that was in my mind? But I don't mean, it's in your mind. I mean, it was in my mind. It was perceived by my receiver.
Yeah.
How do you take a photograph of that? Even if the camera, and I don't know how you do it, isn't on the same frequency as your brain is at that time, or your receiver is at that time.
I've wondered the same with people. Like, say there is an apparition, you've got 5 people in the room. Yeah. You're working from different frequencies.
Yes.
Are all 5 going to see it? It's just one.
No.
I have been in an invest where there's a dark shape just formed. It gained a face. Me and the girl next door to me saw it because we're both like, wow, at the same time. And
Yeah.
it was great to get the validation that she saw it as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's...
Were there other people as well in the room?
Yeah, but we're standing around in a circle. So
Okay,
me and
yeah.
this other lady were facing the stage.
In the right position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
I
I
don't
wonder
know
if the
about
others-
who was next to her and who was next to that person. If they didn't say anything, well, I remember.
No. So yeah, but if supposing they were all in the same position as you,
Yeah.
would they have seen it, or were you just both? Hello, Gillian. How are you? We still need to do some Irish stuff. You know that, kid, don't you? Let's get sorted out soon, please. I'm missing Ireland. Funnily enough, I'm going to be in Ireland on Wednesday.
Oh, very nice.
fantastic.
Belfast.
Oh, nice.
Belfast. Oh,
Yeah, I'm
wow.
going to the Titanic experience.
Oh, brilliant. There's quite a few there for doing a tour of the UK, and they're at Belfast now, staying in the Titanic Hotel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't get in there.
Yeah. It's a trip from the US, and I think they're there at the moment. So yeah.
Oh, right.
Keep seeing where they've been to
Is that
Stonehenge.
Brian J.K. now?
No, that's what I'll see. I'm happy about that one. I'll see you there.
Yeah.
He's coming to the UK in a couple of weeks.
That's right. He's coming to Derby Jail.
Yeah, so I'll see you there.
Yeah.
You're stuck with me again. Sorry.
Oh, no probs.
And then I'll see you not long after that as well with Gina.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
before that. So yeah.
Can't go on
Probably
meeting this way, you know.
weeks. Oh, I know, it's terrible, isn't it? We've got this comment then from Anthony. You probably already know from my talks on these groups, but my unique experience at Bluebird Hill sheds new light of what occurred in that road. My story is 800% true and can be verified. If you like, I'd share it. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah.
Wow. That would be.
Yeah.
I want to hear that, definitely.
Because people do have these incredible experiences, and if you can get, if it changes like bits of history or things like that, it's great, isn't it?
Sounds interesting.
I've got from Andy, Richard, you are the best at your subject and look for every possible answer possible.
Don't about the best. I'm just basically a very ordinary guy that's fascinated by it, by the subject, and try to go deep into it as I can, rather than rather than a shallow sort of approach to it. I just try and I'd like to prove it. I'd like to prove what it is. But
what's your favourite era of history, Richard?
Say again.
What's your favourite era of history?
Oh, for me, God, it was battles. It's the Crimean War and 1850 and the Charge of the Light Brigade. And I'm into disasters. I'm a walking one, actually. But yeah, I'm into Custer's Last Stand, the Alamo, the Titanic, or everything where people's backs against the wall as they go. You know what I mean? Fighting to last stands and all that sort of stuff. That's my passion in life. But favorite period of history, haunting wise, I would say definitely the Tudor period, because there are so many ghosts from the Tudor period. And again, I have a particularly good theory as to why.
Yeah, I was going to ask that question.
Well,
why?
basically, the Tudor period was basically nothing but religious persecution on behalf of the monarchs. Not just in this country either. I'm talking about Europe, the Inquisition and Catholicism and religion and changing from one side to another side. And that's my take on why there are so many religious ghosts around. Monks and nuns.
Yeah.
Priests,
vicars, tarts. No tarts. Just monks and nuns.
You know, Viv and Dan did a show there on Friday, and it was quite well. It wasn't called vicars and tarts, but that's along the lines.
but there are so many, and again, sorry to say it, Richard, but give us a reason for it. Well, yes, I can. We changed sides how many times? I mean, we were all Catholic right? Everyone, the world was Catholic. Everyone was Catholic. Then in 1530 something, where it was, Henry VIII comes along and says, by the way, I can't get a divorce from my Catholic wife, so we're all going to become good Protestants instead of Catholics. Church of England, I'm the boss now. No more Pope. And of course, people's religion meant their faith. Then the death was commonplace. People weren't. Most people were dead by 40.
Yeah.
The kids predeceased them. They'd been in battles. The executions were rough. Death was not the problem. It was what happened next. The afterlife, whether you went up or whether you went down, was paramount. Heaven or hell. Hell was invented and used as a big form of punishment for people to control. Huge.
I couldn't agree more than that. And I think when it comes to Catholicism, and when they tell you about you're going to hell for this, that, and the next thing, I think that's a total and utter brainwash.
I mean, apparently, as Christians, we're all born sinners. Every one of us. Oh, of course, you're born a sinner. You're born a sinner. Did you know that? Oh, yeah, you better get...
We're all angels.
We're all born sinners.
Those angels.
And we spend the rest of our lives atoning for our sins, trying our best to get our sins absolved, and confessing to and trying to get in so we can get in through the pearly gates.
Yeah. What do you think about past lives then? Past life regression.
That's a good one.
I did one at Derby Jail. You were there.
I know you did. Yeah, I'm not a believer in the Hindu type of reincarnation, where it's a dead person's soul, newborn body, newborn baby, dead person's soul, newborn baby, rabbit, pig, donkey, cat, whatever's available, whatever vessel's available to take the energy.
Yeah,
I don't believe in that, but I do believe there's a very good possibility that we are. There are different levels of the spiritual plane, or whatever you want to call it, and we progress from one to another. I believe. I don't know which one this is. This is probably hell, actually. But so in other words, it's a bit like not passing your driving test. If you don't pass first time, you have to go back. And so some people come back again, hence the fact they've got 2, 3, 7, 20 past lives. But another person comes through, and they haven't got any past lives because they passed first time and got to the next level. Wow. Yeah. So that's why sometimes you get people that have got lots of past lives, and some have only got 1 or 2, because it depends on whether you pass the test to get through to the next level.
Well, I've failed a few already.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, happens.
But going back to the religious bit, as I was saying, so all these religious ghosts that are around is because they keep changing sides. So all of us, we're all Catholics, now we're Protestants. Then all of a sudden, Mary Tudor comes along, and guess what? Oh, we're all Catholics again. So get rid of all this Protestant, and people believe they were Protestants and wouldn't go back to the Catholic faith. Blah blah blah. So we all become Catholics for 4 years, and then all of a sudden Elizabeth comes on the throne, and oh my God, hang on, we're not Catholics anymore, we're Protestants again. And so everybody that changed sides, as they did, believed themselves damned. And so they know they're not getting in through the pearly gates. They ain't going to burn in hell, so they've stopped here. But those that did die for their faith, both Protestant and Catholic, they were fine because they were guaranteed entrance through the pearly gates as a saint or a martyr to the faith, because they died, and they weren't frightened of dying, because they believed so much in their faith that they knew that they were going to get in through the pearly gates, which is ridiculous. But all those that changed sides were damned and have stayed behind. And then the other big one to talk to Tudor times and why there are so many ghosts is because when Henry VIII came and we all became, it's called Calvinism. Basically, Protestantism, right, Calvinism, that meant that they abolished a lot of the old Catholic ways, and all of a sudden, there was no more confession.
Wow.
Think about it. So, as a good Catholic, it doesn't matter how many times you did it, so long as you went into the confession box, forgive me, Father, I have sinned, 3 Hail Marys, and give some money to the church, or a few favours to the priest around the back of the bike shed, and you were absolved of your sins, weren't you?
Yeah.
Totally absolved of your sins, and off you went and did it again. But as a good Protestant, no confession. So no confession, you're screwed, mate. Once you've committed that sin, you've had it, mate. Straight to hell. Do not pass hell.
Yeah.
Do not pass go and go straight to hell. And so from Protestant times onwards, there's a lot more ghosts around than there were before.
Wow. Yeah.
Perhaps.
It's a good
Perhaps.
theory. I like
Perhaps.
it.
It's all theory. It's all theory, isn't it?
That's it.
But it's a reason rather than there's a ghost there. Why is there a ghost there? Why do we see so many monks and nuns?
Yeah.
Mm.
Or the lady in grey.
Or ladies in grey, or
Yeah.
blue, or why is it? Why are they in grey? Why aren't they in pink, blue, yellow, or green? Funnily enough, down there, Lois, I mean, you have a lot of green ghosts in Scotland.
Apparently so, yes.
I don't know why. Why? What about Scotland? Why green ghosts? I don't know. Interesting one, isn't it?
It
I
must
never
be
knew
all that greenery.
But there are quite a few, recordings of green ones.
You can't blame the iron brew then.
Could be.
Yep, that's it, definitely.
Interesting one,
And
anyway.
then keep it on.
You got a bottle there, yeah?
Yeah.
No, it's a Coke.
Oh, she's always on the iron brew.
Yeah, you see, yeah.
Oh, Anthony Hayes has told his story. So he's driving with his brother-in-law and sister, partner in a van in Kent, and knowing he's from London and just passing through. On a particular stretch of the road, he felt uneasy, feeling a deathly feeling as he drove past a certain tree. Went all funny, cold and weird. Actually visualised a person hanging from the tree.
Oh, my goodness.
And he didn't actually say anything. But then about 10 comments down, until my brother-in-law drove down the wrong road and drove up the other side of the road. As I was looking now on that particular tree from the other side of the road, my brother-in-law said to me, without knowledge of what I'd just felt, he said, "Do I know what this road is? It's Britain's most haunted road, where the women in the wedding dress and hitchhiker gets in the car and disappears."
Oh, yes, I've heard about that. Yeah.
Oh, have you? Wow.
Yes.
That's brilliant.
Wow.
Great story. Wow.
There you are. Yeah, I know.
So it's whether you pick things up as well as that, Anthony.
Yeah.
But that's fantastic. That one is. Love it. Thanks for sharing
that's
it with
good.
us.
That's good. Yeah. I need to
brilliant.
go on that road. I don't think I've done it. Where is it, Anthony? It's in Kent, isn't it, somewhere?
Yeah, if you let us know where it is, then
yes, please. I'll get the
people
car
might
and go.
sort of head down that way. So, hi Chantal, thanks for joining us. Bluebird Hill, it's called then. Bluebird Hill has so much more.
Oh yes, that's Bluebird Hill, of course. Yeah.
So that's a
well,
great
I've not done Ghosts of Kent, funnily enough, on DVD. Oh, God, DVDs are over. It's gone, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be down.
Absolutely love this question. Hi, Viv. I hope you're well. Just catching up on comments. So, how about doing your stone tape thing at Stonehenge?
Well, very good point, Vivian. I mean, very good point.
Awesome,
apart from the fact that I don't think they'd let me.
Is it not the A229 on Kent Road in Kent? I'm sure I've read it before. I'm sure it's the A229.
I suppose the thing is, right, okay, two things. Number one, how do we know that anything happened at Stonehenge that would cause a recording to be held in any of the stones? And I mean, because I mean, everyone talks of sacrifice and the sacrificial stones and altars, but how much of that really how much of that really happened, I don't know. So if you could pick one of the stones where someone was killed, then there's a possibility that stone could hold a recording. I think. Again, I still don't think they'd let you do it at Stonehenge. That's the only thing I'm not sure about. But I know for a fact that stone, there's no doubt, stone emits energy, even if it doesn't hold recordings, which I believe it does. It does emit energy, and that's why they build stone circles. They, all those thousands of years ago, knew more about the properties of stone than we do now, and the energy that comes from stone, and also the fact that it can record in the same way as microchips can record and store energy. But not only that, but stone emits energy as well, just in the same way as we all know that quartz crystal does.
Yeah.
You know, it can affect people's it can help people with healing and all sorts of stuff. We underestimate stone so much and crystals so much. So yeah, you see, I know for a fact that there's a guy went to Avebury with his dowsing crystal. I know you've seen, probably I do this at Derby Jail by putting my hand on a piece of stone with a dowsing crystal in my hand, and it causes it to gyrate. The energy from the stone, it's a bit like sticking your fingers into a 13 amp socket in the wall. Energy, would cause you, give you an electric shock, and stone does the same thing on a smaller scale. And I know that this happened to a guy that went to Avebury with his dowsing crystal, put his hand on the stone and started to get a tingling in his right hand coming from the stone, and then stood there as his crystal started gyrating. Right, you won't believe it. Energy coming through, pulsing through his body into the crystal from the stone at Avebury. And as I say, I believe that they knew an awful lot more about stone circles and why they were there and what they did than we do.
There you go. There's a good location with Gillian, Lep Castle.
Yeah,
Gillian.
I'd love to do Lep Castle for Halloween. I would do it. I would do it as well. I'd love to do it. I'd have to charge a lot of money because it's my busiest night of the year. I've already got 2 events booked on Halloween already.
Oh my gosh, bless you.
on the 31st.
Wow.
But I have travelled before now on Halloween with Derek to do a show on Halloween one night, and left other people doing my ghost events for me. But we can talk some more. I'd love to go back to my favourite castle, along with Chillingham.
Oh, Chillingham, yeah, that's beautiful.
Boy.
Yeah. There's some just fantastic locations, though, aren't there?
Tis.
So,
Gillian, I visited that castle. I've been to the Boleyn Castle. With Les took me there, and I went round it when it was for sale. I'd love to have bought it. Yeah, Little Irish Castle in County Offaly, not that far from Lep and Kinnetty, and it belonged to the Boleyn family.
Oh,
it did, and Boleyn's family. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Oh, we got a Cheddar Gorge. That's been, Cheddar Man's there.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, they are. You see, it's all stone.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Viv, there's someone who works there.
Oh yes, please, Viv. Yeah.
I
mean, I've stood at the fencing or whatever it is and seen it, but I'd love to do a little bit more. Oh, I ain't got time. I ain't got long enough left. But I'd love to do a bit of more research into stone circles as to why they're there and what the energy from them was used for. Was it to attract something from up there?
Oh, this is it. We've got no idea,
have
we? Yeah.
Was it a landing stage place or for oh come on, UFOs?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's intriguing, isn't it? Like then that brings in the pyramids, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, did
What are
the
they really
aliens
for?
help on that?
Yeah.
People
And the
from other
Mexican ones
worlds.
and the, you know,
Yeah. Chichen
were they
Itza, I've been
really
there.
just to
Fantastic.
bury someone in? No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Well, they use them to throw people down the steps as a sacrifice for the rain god.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the Mexican ones.
yeah,
Because that's a sort of
Yeah.
bit of history that I'm intrigued by.
yeah.
But yeah, it's just all
Interesting. But
fascinating
what
how,
are they
you know,
for?
they can build them in Mexico. They can be lined up to the moon, the star system, things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you've got the other side, haven't you, with the Egypt and all the, you know,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
Machu Picchu.
Yeah, a lot more to it than we
Yeah.
realise, I'm sure. All back to
I love
all that
Gillian's
one word,
comment.
isn't it? Energy.
Yeah,
Hey?
that's right. So, you know, we've got energy around us. There's just energy in most things,
Yeah,
aren't there? So,
But
yeah.
it's a different sort of energy that comes from it comes from the earth. Because of course
Yeah.
the other thing you've got to remember is that's it, Clononi, that was it, Gillian. Yeah.
Clearly.
You've got to remember that the Earth's crust is made up of rock, silica. And so the energy is coming from the, you know, negative energy, positive energy coming from the Earth, from its core and its crust all over, you know. And then also all these rocks that we're building from, and, you know, stone circles, they came from out of the Earth, from the Earth's crust. And they're full of energy.
Yeah.
Energy, like, oh, come on, you know.
But how did they get there, like Gina says?
How did they
That's
get
a
there?
massive mystery, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
For
you
the
mean
weight of
stones?
them.
How did they get those massive,
Yeah.
massive? How many people did it take to build the pyramids and to
Yeah.
get the stone from wherever it came from?
And
There's
even
no
Stonehenge.
Yeah.
If that's
exactly.
allegedly from Wales,
Yes.
how on
It's a long
earth?
way, isn't it?
Yeah.
How did they do it? Why did they do it? Which is more than how.
I like that comment.
Yeah.
There you go.
Gillian, the 30th of October sounds all right. I've got an event that night, but I can get somebody else to do it, kid. That's the Sunday, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Yes, please. Hey.
Yeah, it's just a fascinating field, isn't it?
It is.
So
Absolutely.
what are your plans then?
Plans at the
Yeah.
moment? Oh, I've got all sorts of things. I've got the possibility that we've done a pilot for a TV program, which we hope might happen for Channel 4. I'm working on a pilot called Execution, a medley of butchery and torture. Which should be interesting, because you see, once a month I do an executions day at Derby Jail. In fact, I'm doing one this Saturday. If anybody wants to come along, I'm doing 12 o'clock till 3 o'clock, demonstrating all different forms of execution in Derby Jail, and doing a trip up to the other jail as well, to Vernon Street Prison. Starts at 12 o'clock.
And how do people get tickets then?
richardfelix.co.uk.
Right. Any other way? Facebook?
Just put on Derby Ghost Walks.
Derby Ghost Walks.
Or Derby Jail. And
Derby Jail.
And it'll come up and you can book.
Can you just turn up on the day?
Say again?
Can you turn up on the day, or do you have
You
to
could
book in
actually,
advance?
for that one, you can just turn up.
Yeah.
You just turn up 12 o'clock on Saturday, and I'll take some money off you.
Gina's posted the
And
link anyway.
yeah, by all means, yeah. The other thing I'm doing big time is creating this ridiculous thing called Derbyshire Tea.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't know you were involved in it.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, Derbyshire born and Derbyshire brewed.
No comment there.
Yeah, basically, I'm sick and tired to death of this Yorkshire stuff. All right, everything's Yorkshire, isn't it? They think they're so good. They are. Come off it, Yorkshire. I mean, let's be honest. Is they've got Whitby, they've got York, they've got the seaside, they've got Scarborough, they've got they've got the works, haven't they? They've got the Dales, but Derbyshire's beautiful. We've got a beautiful county, and we underestimate ourselves. So this Yorkshire tea business, it annoys me so much. Do you know Yorkshire tea is the best-selling tea in Britain?
Wow.
And it's like builder's tea. It's a bit strong.
You like
So I thought, right, now's the time. Derbyshire tea.
Oh,
So we've created this Derbyshire tea.
You've got your team. We've got a football team.
Do
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what, Richard?
Right,
I would have
sorry.
never seen. I would have
There you
never
go.
seen what. I would have never ever seen you go into the tea trade.
No, I'm not. Well, I do drink tea. I do as well. But there's an awful lot of people out there that do drink tea, and so I've sort of decided it was time to create a Derbyshire tea, in to sort of
cool.
combat Yorkshire.
That's the best way, yeah.
So we'll see what happens. So we're launching it next week in a hall in Derbyshire.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just another idea of mine to promote
Yeah.
Derby and Derbyshire. You see, so I've got that. That's big at the moment. I've got a lot going on with that at the moment.
Yeah, you certainly do promote your area a lot, though.
I always have. You see, I was chairman of Derby Tourism.
Yeah.
For 4 years, and so that's where the ghost business came from with me. I opened a heritage centre in an old Tudor grammar school that had got a ghost of a little boy upstairs in the dormitories, and I thought, well, we need to do something to bring people to Derby. York do ghost walks, Chester do ghost walks. Why don't I try doing a ghost walk?
Yeah.
And I did one, and I hated it. I thought, this is rubbish, because I'd obviously I'd got some stories out of books, and I thought, no, sorry, I don't believe this nonsense. If I'm going to do it, I've got to believe in it. So I stopped.
Yeah.
Didn't do any more for 6 months at least, while I started to research, and I came up with what I believe to be credible stories, rather than silly stories. Yeah. And that's where it progressed from.
That's brilliant.
That's why. So ghost walks are quiet at this time of year.
Yeah.
Because it's hello, Kerry. Gosh, she remembers me from the record business. Yeah, I was a record dealer for 30 years. Oh dear.
Oh
yeah.
wow.
From the sublime to the ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it started. Yeah. Oh, the other thing I'm doing on the 6th of August, I'm with Brian J. Kano.
Yeah.
He's coming to Derby Jail.
Yeah. I
20,
think I am as well.
people. You're coming, aren't you, to it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm doing that on the 6th. I've got to ring Vivian when I've done this this podcast to talk to her about the event.
Yeah.
And what else? I forget. There's always so much going on.
Oh, you've got Gina in the evening on the 6th as
doing
well.
that. Yeah,
busy.
that's right. The night of the 6th. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And anything and everything, ghost walks and tours and trips, and I'm rewriting Derbyshire Ghosts with lots more stories that I've had since I did it about 15 years ago when I did the original.
Wow.
And I've got so much more to go in it that it's time.
You're always busy, aren't you?
I need 28 hours in a day.
Oh, bless you.
No mind.
So where do you get your books from then? What's the best place?
richardfelix.co.uk. We print around richardfelix.co.uk. Yeah. What is a ghost? £10. Signed copies available.
Yeah. There you go.
And all my DVDs are on sale. Yeah, I've done
$9.99.
Yeah, 53 videos.
Yeah.
I've done Derby, Ghost of Derby, Ghost of Leicester, Ghost of Lincolnshire, Ghost of Scotland. I don't believe it. That's someone ringing up for a DVD, isn't it? I would think. So, there's lots going on. Lots going on. Just stop in a minute.
No, it's just been brilliant. I first met you at Annesley Hall.
That was
fantastic.
A place.
That was quite mad, because I think you opened it up and so many people just went, didn't they?
I've got about 600 people turned up.
Yeah. It was
and we did it about 5 times. And then, unfortunately, it burnt down again for the second. But I say burnt down, but it didn't. Yeah. The roof came in and all the timbers were burnt, but the stonework's still there.
You ought to look at it now, though, Richard. You ought to look at it. It's got a roof on it.
Yeah, I love Annesley.
They're working on it.
So many. Not only has it just got good ghost stories, but it's got good history behind it. You see.
Yeah, with a child with some Byron and everything.
Yeah, Lord Byron and Robin Hood. They reckon, I don't know how true it is, but when the Chorworth family lived there, that they actually had a hanging on by the fireplace. So they said Robin Hood's boots.
Wow.
I mean, who was Robin Hood? Yeah.
My
gosh. Yeah. Where have they gone? Don't know. I ain't got them.
Oh. You wish you
I
had.
don't know.
Yeah. But I think you've got to go get your tea now. Haven't
I
you?
have, yes. Chicken curries on the boil.
Oh,
That's
sounds
fab.
sweet.
Oh,
Absolutely
it's been
nice.
lovely to
Yeah.
speak to you. It really has.
Definitely.
It's been a
And,
pleasure. I've loved it. I hope I haven't
wish
upset too many people.
Uh,
Tough.
Bless you. But yeah, thanks so much. You've been
It's a
absolutely
pleasure.
wonderful.
All
Thanks
right,
to
guys.
everyone who's shared and everything, watched and questions. And yeah, thank you so much. Take care. Have a
Bye.
nice tea.
See you again,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.
See you. Bye.